I hope you're enjoying the star creatures as much as I am not. But, you know, I would always rather show fine classic horror movies. But we kind of seem to be strapped into B-rate public domain stuff. At least that's what they tell me. But now, Joy Hope, that's your name?
Yes.
And Kevin says now that you've done some pretty amazing things. Would you like to tell us about it?
Define amazing things.
Well, extraordinary things. Out of the ordinary.
Outside of the entire warehouse.
What's the warehouse?
Full of boxes that people are thinking inside of.
Oh, they think there's an entire warehouse somewhere of people in the box that are thinking. But
Possibly.
That's not working out because they're not getting out of the box.
Nope.
Okay. So now how did you get into the whole, pin-up photography thing?
I actually was doing runway stuff and sci-fi themed weird, crazy makeup. And I found Kevin on Facebook. And I am unemployed. And I said I'd like some prints. I've been screwed out of a lot of pictures from a lot of photographers. And Kevin came through and said, don't worry about it. Come to the studio and do a few things. And I spent the whole day there, and it was absolutely awesome. And he did a great job editing. I was a little worried at first because a lot of photographers can be like just a weird pervert.
You feel,
with a downloaded Photoshop. And he said, come through the back door. So I'm like,
okay.
well, I am posing with a gun, so I'm going to bring that in right away just in case. But he actually turned out to be quite the gentleman and is very easy to work with, and it was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it was. And it's cool to just get away from, ordinary life. I mean, it's great that there's an outlet for people. And really, I think Facebook's kind of a positive thing. I know a lot of people, like to rip on it for whatnot, but it's really a good way to have a good time. And with video, and everybody can put what they're doing out there so easily now. Back in the day, if you were recording music or something like that, I'm in a band, so you go in the studio, you record this, and then try to get it all down on cassette tapes to mail somebody, if you want, somebody that's in the record business or something to listen to it. And now you can basically record the song in the morning and have it online that night. It's out there, So that's we live in a cool age for that. And while there is a lot of, you sure see a lot of negative and gruesome things on Facebook. And, I think that's kind of tough sometimes, but on the other hand, it's made our generation, or this generation, or whoever's generation it is, it's made us much more aware about what's going on in the world, and I think I'd rather be aware than be ignorant about it, so.
Yeah, and just the people you can hook up with. I mean, when I messaged him, I was like, I said my story, and he's like, well, I need a pinup girl, so I'm used to like the Gwen Stefani look with Marilyn Monroe inspired stuff, and I watched a documentary on Betty Page on Netflix and kind of did my homework, and I was like, I can do that. So that's how it ended up.
I got you. Well, that's very, very good. I mean, it's just an exciting time for a lot of that stuff with Facebook, and it's basically like the show is on 24/7, isn't it? I mean, well, with YouTube or anything like that, or with your photography, you get it right out there, and people can see what, other people are doing, and there's a great creative force out there, really. It'd be interesting to see, why, for entertainment and painting, and even photography, I imagine, so much stuff was, pre to the internet, and now that's all available on the internet. Well, you can just imagine what they're going to have as far as that kind of technology, say even 50 years from now, is going to make, the most advanced laptop computer that we have now look like a black and white television. So, and all this stuff that everybody's doing now is archived, not to mention that everything, every Facebook is kind of like a diary. I often say, it's really more like FBI book. You just add the I because it's just real interesting that back in the Bush era, when they were worried about him tapping phones because of the terrorists, and everybody was freaking out in 2000, 2001, I mean, and everybody was freaking out about it. But now everybody's willingly spilling their guts on Facebook 24/7. They talk about their relationships. They talk about you know, what they're eating. I mean, so they're just willingly handing over the information. And the best one is, you know, you got minors talking about meeting up on the school ground parking lots to chief. You got people talking about how she just got her license back, she got a new car, and she's going out drinking. You know, it's like, hey, if they're watching, you know, you're giving them all the information. Can we use in court? I don't know. How do we get started talking about this? Yeah, we do that very well on this show. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that are pretty crazy. I don't know if you're a big conspiracy theorist or not, but there's sure enough, you know, enough twigs for that fire. Anyway, you got to get back to it now. That's right. The Star Creatures. What else? On Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where the stars are shining tonight.